When people begin to explain the origins of economic thought, they usually jump to the same names: Adam Smith, Karl Marx, perhaps going a bit further back to Aristotle. The truth is that this story is far older, far deeper, and contains a part that Western-centered narratives are not very eager to acknowledge. In the Middle Ages, in a place most people would never think of, there lived a thinker who described today with astonishing clarity. About 1,000 years ago, capitalism did not yet exist. There were no central banks, no stock exchanges, no derivatives. And yet a Muslim scholar emerged and said this: "When money loses its moral dimension, society begins to decay from within." Anyone living in today's world cannot help but wonder, could he have understood us better than we understand ourselves? Welcome to the field of financial history, where money, power, and time intertwine. And let us say this up front: nothing here is as simple as it seems. To truly grasp Al-Ghazali, you must imagine a world that is both very similar to ours and profoundly foreign. The calendars show the 11th century. Europe is in disarray, poor, fragmented, still struggling to emerge from the depths of the Middle Ages. Yet at the same time, the Islamic world stands at a very different point, a vast geography stretching from Andalusia to Persian lands. Cities are wealthy, crowded, dense, and vibrant: Baghdad, Damascus, Cairo. These are not merely cultural centers, but hubs where trade, money, and knowledge are forged and circulated. Caravans are always on the move: silk, spices, textiles, silver change hands. Markets overflow. Scholars debate philosophy, discuss law and justice, delve into astronomy and medicine. Wealth rises, trade expands, society changes rapidly and advances. And yet precisely at this point, something begins to go wrong. This is where Al-Ghazali steps onto the stage: philosopher, jurist, theologian, a bit of each. But what truly sets him apart is his discomfort with the very system he inhabits. In his 30s, he holds one of the most prestigious academic positions of his time, yet he does not say everything is fine. On the contrary, he senses that this order, which appears powerful from the outside, is rotting from within. Society grows richer, but people grow poorer. Money increases, but meaning diminishes. Everyone seems to be winning, yet no one feels satisfied. Sounds familiar? Yes, painfully familiar. Al-Ghazali asks a simple yet dangerous question: what happens when a society becomes wealthy before it becomes wise? In seeking an answer, he turns to money itself. And this is where things become interesting, because Al-Ghazali is not speaking only in religious terms. He reads economics through human behavior. He argues that money is not merely a medium of exchange, but also a test of character. According to him, money is not sacred. It is never an end in itself. Money is merely a tool, a means that allows people to trade, produce, and cooperate. He likens money to a mirror. A mirror has no value on its own. Its value comes from what it reflects. Money is the same. It has no inherent meaning. Its meaning lies in what it makes possible within society. From this he reaches a harsh conclusion. Hoarded money is dead money. Money locked away in chests, safes, and vaults. Money that does not circulate is not only useless, it is harmful to society. When money stops moving, the economy freezes. Work disappears, trade slows, people struggle to survive. Al-Ghazali describes this as the stoppage of society's blood circulation, a metaphor that could be used word for word in today's critiques of wealth inequality. Yet the problem is not merely individual greed, it is a matter of system and order. When the wealthy withdraw money from circulation, an artificial scarcity emerges in the market. Resources exist, but access to them does not. Prices distort. The powerful grow stronger. The weak are perpetually crushed. Then there's the issue of speculation. And here Al-Ghazali speaks with a sharp tone. Those who turn crises into opportunities, who manipulate prices, who hoard goods and push people into hardship, he defines as open decay. To profit from others' suffering is to profit from corruption, he says, and adds that this corruption is contagious. Once it begins, it spreads to the whole. The economic bubbles, crisis profiteers, and manipulations we encounter today are merely different versions of the same mindset. Make no mistake, Al-Ghazali does not view trade as an enemy. He's not opposed to earning profit. He's not opposed to wealth at all. But he insists that without honesty, markets cannot survive. When trust collapses, the economy collapses with it. Concepts we discuss today as information asymmetry, moral hazard, and market confidence were articulated by Al-Ghazali with remarkable clarity 1,000 years ago. Labor is also central to his thinking. He argues that money earned through work refines a person, while money earned through deceit corrodes them from within. Societies grow stronger through production and weaker through exploitation. This is as much a practical observation as it is a moral one. As for states, here too he is clear and uncompromising. He openly condemns rulers who manipulate money. Debasing gold or silver coins, in modern terms, is a hidden tax. It is theft from the people, and it strikes the poor the hardest. It destroys trust. The duty of the state is to protect the market, not to manipulate it. For an unjust ruler can destroy a country far faster than any external enemy. One of Al-Ghazali's harshest statements is this: a society can endure poverty, but it cannot endure corruption. Economies usually collapse not because money fails, but because trust is exhausted. When trust disappears, everyone begins to deceive one another, triggering a chain reaction of collapse. Al-Ghazali foresaw this as well. When a state abuses its currency, people flee from their own money and turn to more reliable alternatives. What happened centuries later in Germany, Zimbabwe, and Venezuela is precisely this. Al-Ghazali understood one fundamental truth. Money is ultimately a system of belief. When people stop believing, the system collapses. He also grasped human nature with striking clarity. People hoard out of fear. They speculate out of greed. They cheat when they believe they won't be caught. When everyone does it, they justify themselves. And when exploitation becomes normalized, collapse has already begun. That is why he says, to restore order in an economy, you must correct the incentives that shape human behavior. Neither laws alone nor markets left entirely to themselves are sufficient, because within every system there are people. Owning wealth is not evil, but when it loses its connection to responsibility, it becomes dangerous. Societies survive to the extent that people contribute more than they take. Look at our world today. Debts have soared, economies have inflated, trust has eroded, inequality has exploded. If Al-Ghazali were alive today, he would not be surprised. He would probably say only this: I explained this 1,000 years ago. When justice disappears, prosperity cannot remain. Economies do not collapse because of numerical errors, but because of human behavior. Greed, fear, shortcuts. These are what bring civilizations down. Al-Ghazali was not preaching. He was describing reality. Money is not a mechanical tool. It is a moral ecosystem. And when that ecosystem collapses, the financial system collapses with it. That is why he still matters. History does not repeat itself exactly. But if you fail to learn its lesson, the same mistakes will catch you again, and if this gave you a new perspective, subscribe.